And sorry, bro.
You're a bit too happy. Are you okay? All right. Did you see King Charles going down the street or something? I mean, come on, what's going on with you? Okay. So,
bro.
I know you're hiding underground over there. Nobody can know who you are. If you say like their channel, they can literally take you to jail over your channel, which is like ridiculous. But
yo, what's up, brothers? What's going on, man? It's your dude IP International Passport here with the legendary, the one and only Theo Waff back in the building, man. If you can hear me loud and clear, press 1 in the live stream chat. Theo, do you hear any background noise? You hear my fan in the background?
Nope, I don't hear it.
Perfect. This
I'm here.
Coming through.
I'm here with my protection, Chewbacca. This is my protection. Hey. That's right.
Hey.
So when I go to another country and a girl's going to try to drug my water, Chewbacca protects me from everyone.
Yo,
there you go.
Yo, what's up, Chewbacca, man? What you saying, bro? You good, yeah? You good, fam? Awesome, man. Awesome.
So he's good. He's good.
No.
Wookie dayo. Wookie. Wookie dayo.
Okay, so we are live on YouTube, Facebook right now, Twitch, Kick and Rumble. Okay, it's a full house tonight, brothers. If you can hear me in the live stream chat, press on 1 loud and clear. Mayday, check 1 2, check 1 2. Who's there? Okay, who is there? It's gonna be a special night tonight. It's gonna be a classic. We have a lot to speak about. Okay, I see brothers in the chat. Thank you very much for confirming. So let's get straight into it, okay? So brothers, before I even speak about any further things, I want to say, of course, when you come on the live stream, please like the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. Support the channel by the super chats and the PayPal donations. Join the Patreon too for intel on foreign women, IT, traveling. I'm going to be dropping some intel on stocks and crypto on the Patreon very soon, and some travel intel too. Okay. Aside from that, get you a t-shirt, get your hoodie on the Teespring link within the description box below. And of course, right, make sure you follow me on Kick, Rumble, and Twitch for crash out sessions. We will have a crash out session, okay? After this stream. Okay, we're going to end the streams on YouTube, on Kick, and on every platform. I'll only be streaming on Rumble later on, so we can crash out and speak that real talk, okay? I got a lot on my mind, right? But as you know, I've got to keep it PG for YouTube, okay? But we can actually speak more about that on Rumble, man. And guess what? We're going to crash like a mofo. Ain't that right, Theo?
We'll have a good time. Yeah, we had a good time before on Kick. I think we'll have a good time on Rumble today. So let's see what we can do.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So, welcome back, Theo. We hope you've been well, brother. We hope you've been keeping sane in the crazy world of America. How you doing, brother? You good?
Yeah, it's good. I had a good weekend. I've been doing a lot of Kubernetes, AI, data center work, developmental work. So I mean, I'm constantly working. It's never stopping, and we have a lot of new ideas and concepts that we're trying to introduce to the market. So that's just been my work. Students have been very good. Generally speaking, the year has been crap. So the market is messed up. It's a very challenging market in IT right now. But at least we're getting jobs, at least in our groups. I assume it's also in your group, but in my group, they're still getting jobs, but it's just at a slower rate. So we're having to really work and put in some hours. So yeah, it's been good, honestly, but it's been hard. It's been a lot of work.
Awesome, bro. Awesome. It will pick up. That's how markets are. Financial markets, job markets. Job market is also pretty bad here in the UK, and it will pick up. Nothing lasts forever. So, I think you got some special announcements, right? You're going to speak about, brother?
So we got to talk about our new classes that we're having. So the conclave is going to be in Black Matters for Conclave is going to be in September. We are going to be focusing on AI for that conclave. So there'll be 2 main courses that I'll be teaching after the conclave. The first one is going to be the AI cloud engineer, specifically focusing on AI security and cloud security. But it's going to be it's still advanced, but it's somewhat of a more of a basic and intermediate level. So that's going to get you into a job to use cloud native tools. It'll probably take you about a year to 18 months to actually get a job after that. And then I'm focusing on next one is going to be the advanced AI course. And I'm going to teach it twice over a period of 2 years. Now, something for people to know on the stream, to be aware, this September will be the last time that I'll be accepting new students. And that's because we really do need to be working on advanced AI. So basically, if you want to get into cloud engineering with us, now's the time. You really need to get on the boat. So our joke is that the arc is going, or the arc is moving out. There are still jobs in here. I mean, we start out about 120,000, go up to 120,000 to 170,000 easy. In the beginning, if you put in the work, you can get that kind of job in the United States still, even with job cuts, even with this, like Dodge and other jobs being cut. There's still plenty of cloud-related jobs. It's just that you're not going to have those kind of jobs entry level forever. And so we understand that, and so we're moving more towards AI. We're moving aggressively towards AI, to be honest.
Awesome. More details on the conference will be coming on the channel, and of course, Phil's upcoming course as well. That's the last time Phil will be taking people. So please bear that in mind. I'll be teaching Python again, right? Very soon. Okay. Shout out to my previous cohorts. It was great teaching y'all, and I will take in some new people, and Phil will take in new people as well. Like we mentioned before, cloud and Python is the ultimate combination. Okay, you take your Python skill set, you apply it to Phil's cloud stuff. You are setting yourself well for the job market. Okay, anywhere around the world, right? IT and tech is a career. It's a lifelong career. Okay, that pays well, that pays your pension, right? That gives you funds to travel and has remote and hybrid options. Okay, it is a career. So put in work, brothers, put in work. Okay, so awesome. Okay, now let's get straight into the live stream topic. Okay, and shout out to already a super chat. Shout out to Mr. Black Scorpion for the support. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so very much. Awesome, thank you, bro. So unless you've been hiding under a rock, unless you've been under the armpits of a big fat Keisha in the States, okay, there is a war, right, going on. Okay, there's a war going on. Okay, in the Middle East between Israel and Iran. Okay, and there are potentially huge repercussions, right, that could emit or come from that war that could affect us passport bros. Okay, now we are passport bros. We travel, right, for freedom, for women, for prosperity, to gain a new life abroad, etc. And this war, right, could put our plans in jeopardy. Okay, so we're going to discuss this war and give our thoughts here as passport bros. Okay, now Theo, you've heard about the war yourself. It was a shock that obviously Israel hit first in Iran. Wasn't expecting it so soon, so quickly this year, but it is what it is. Okay, now we spoke about this maybe a year and a half ago. If a war happened, but that was mostly around, I believe, the Russia-Ukraine war. Now we have another war happening. Okay, so Theo, my first thoughts as to why I'm worried here is because of a concept called forced conscription. Okay, if things really get out of hand, Theo, okay, I foresee the powers that be, right, saying that if you are under a certain age, it is mandatory, you must fight for your country. As of right now, Theo, right, it is a choice to fight for your country. It is a choice to go to the military. Okay, but what if ish really hits the fan, Theo? Because guess what? A lot of young dudes nowadays, Theo, right, they don't want to get leave for any war. They don't want to fight any war. And Theo, can you blame them? They have PS5s now. They've got Miami models they can watch on Instagram, right? Brother, they have a passport, they want to travel, meet foreign chicks, right? There's so much an abundance of entertainment, right? And to go to war where you're risking your life, right? You risk losing experience in that. They're thinking, I'm 39, right? I'm 40, I'm 25, I'm 21. Why on earth should I fight a war that I didn't start? Have you thought about that, Theo? Forced conscription? Break it down for us, bro.
No, I wouldn't really worry about forced conscription, especially not in the United States, because Iran is too small of a country for that. It would be too costly. But how can I say that? I think it's something around 75% of people applying for the military right now are being rejected because of they're failing their physical. So they're just not strong enough to pass the basic test to go into the military. And a lot of the problem is because, again, you've got these watered down programs for physical education in the schools right now. And so therefore a lot of students are out of shape and they're unable to do military service. Not like the 50s and 60s. We had plenty of men who could go into the military. At this point, no, I'm not really too much about forced conscription in the United States, just because we don't have the people to do it. We don't really have the money right now to fight a war, to be honest. So with all the changes, the structural changes that Trump is being put in place, we have to be pacifistic right now. Even though we are supporting Israel, we are supporting various conflicts, we really can't put boots on the ground. We're just not in a position to do it. It'd have to be a major endeavor, like a major war, to get us to get boots on the ground at this point.
Okay, Phil, and to follow up on that point, you said that it has to be a major thing, right? So
yeah,
that's a great point there, Phil, because I actually read an article this morning or a couple hours ago, right, where Netanyahu said that he can't rule out deleting the leader of Iran, the supreme leader, Khamenei, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. Brother. So now, Theo, if that happens, right, that's major. You're taking out the head of a state, Theo, the head of 90 million people. That is effectively a massive world war, right? Where Iran is probably going to crash out. They're going to crash out. They're giving that effort. Let's crash out, right? Israel going to crash out too. A couple countries might join in as well. It's going to be really, really, really crazy for you, right? So I think at that point, okay, yeah, United States will probably join in, and it's going to be deadly for you, right? So we as passport bros, right? If we get that letter saying you must fight for your country, nah, bruv, right? Feel there's so much on the line here that could jeopardize the movement and our prosperity and our freedom, right? If Israel takes out the head of state of Iran, it's basically over, Theo. That's a world war, right?
Well, okay. So Iran doesn't have the capability, the logistical capability, to conduct a world war in terms of ground forces, but it can launch nukes. And we all know that Iran has got to have some nukes around there. Russia's out.
Wait, so you think Iran has nukes, brother? I thought they're making nukes. You think they have nukes right now, Theo? You sure?
I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do have nukes. But they definitely have rockets. And then, of course, Pakistan just announced that if there were some sort of strike on Iran, that Pakistan would take out Israel with nuclear weapons themselves. So we can only go like so far. Look, we gotta look at basic logistics right now. Russia is in no condition to do a world war. They can't knock out Ukraine over over 80% of their bomber fleet has been destroyed, and that was in the last week. And they can't remanufacture their bomber fleet. They're done. That's over. They can do some drones, but that's about it. So basically, what it is you know how like you're on the playground, you got like two kids who just want to beat the crap out of each other. So you kind of put them at arm's length, and they're kind of like just hitting each other's hands. That's pretty much Israel and Iran right now. They really want to go at each other, but they can't. So they could do proxy wars, but they can't really go at each other. Now, in terms of us and Passport Bros, well, I don't know. I mean, I never really wanted to go to Israel and get married there. So it's not. I wouldn't want that necessarily.
You're not Jewish girls? You don't like Jewish girls, bro?
No, I don't. It's nothing against them. I just don't. It's not like when I see a Brazilian, I'm like, oh yeah, I come to Popeyes. When I see a girl from Israel, or I'm just like, okay, I respect you. I just don't. I don't feel it. All right, just not. I'm not going for it. There's some hot women from Israel, but it's not what I want on the menu. That's it. I'm not. That's my point. So I'm sure they feel the same thing about me. Right? Theo, I don't want you. I'm like, okay, it's all good. All right, you do your thing. I'll do everything. I'll just stay away from Gaza so you don't come try to kill me. So, right. That's just the way I look at it. So, in terms of Passport Bros, the only thing that would be bad, particularly for Americans, is that if Israel acts bad, then the image of Americans abroad becomes deteriorated, and that's not good. So, when the Iran war started, the Gulf War II started in January 2003. I was in Japan, and Japanese people looked at me like I was some sort of barbarian. And I'm like, I'm not a part of this. I'm over here with you guys. I don't know what's going on. Like, you'll go ask Bush this stuff. So I wasn't too happy with Bush over the war, right? But no, that's just the way it is. So in that case, people abroad will look at particularly American men kind of in a bad light, but not entirely. They'll look at you and like, but then then they start talking to you to see who you are.
Wow, great point there, Phil. Right, Phil. I also want to talk about how it could affect, right? Let's say, for example, Phil, our sorts of clout in the Middle East, because as Passport Bros, a lot of us bros, we see Middle East as a bastion for safety to find a pure woman, a righteous woman, right? We know that Islam is the last bastion, right? Honestly, right? When it comes down to it, to the very fine details, to find pure good woman, right? Islam has an abundance of them, right? So if us Western people, right? Because we know America, UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, they're all clicked up. They're the same people, right? Right. So if it really goes down to a world war or it's about out of control, how will we be seen in Dubai, in Doha, right, in Qatar, in Istanbul, Turkey, right? How do you think women will perceive us as barbarians, like you mentioned, right? And there will also be like instability in the Middle East as well. Can we even travel there, right? There'll be a lot of anti-Western sentiment, Phil. And guess what, Phil? I'll be real with you, Phil, right? I do like Middle Eastern chicks. They're hot, right? So you're telling me, right, I can't get me a Middle Eastern chick because of this war? I ain't gonna be happy, bro. I'm not gonna be happy, bro. Look it out for us, Phil, man. Image is come on, bro.
you would have a better opportunity, to be honest. A black British guy, you would have a better time of it because they're not going to be as bad with you as they're going to be with other people from the UK. Americans, though, yeah, it gets a little bad. So, I mean, I'm speaking French fluently. You have no idea how many times I just said I was Quebecois. I say I'm from Quebec, and that's it. I call it a day. I just speak with an accent. And, you know, they would say, like, okay, he's not American. And I just keep on going. I don't want this smoked because I disagree with my country's foreign policy. And I knew it was bad. And, you know, that this wasn't good for me. I got it on your show. I've told you that story about when I was at the Sorbonne. I'll say it again right now. So I was dating a Syrian when I was at the Sorbonne. She was really beautiful, fluent French, amazing girl. And we would sit next to each other in class all the time. And I'm sitting there having a rather vivid, erotic dream about her and me. So I'm not paying attention to the class. And they're actually talking about U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East. And she's talking about how American troops and, American weapons are being used to kill Palestinians and how Americans are truly evil. And then she looked at me when she said Americans are truly evil. And then she said, but not you. And when she said that to me, I just said in my mind, I said, I'll never get laid now because of this. And I was like, Bush, what? I hate you. Because, like, I could have had this really great woman, but because of the stupid policy towards Palestine, I can't properly date her. I'm not going to be able to go so far with her because she's always going to think that I'm somewhat of an evil imperialist, which actually was true during our entire relationship. She always thought to some degree that I was an evil imperialist, even though I wasn't. I was a kid from Illinois. That's what I was. So I'm just saying, guys, especially for the Americans, you don't. This kind of activity in the Middle East is not good for us. So if you're going to Dubai, if you're going to Qatar, Saudi Arabia, like that, they are going to look at you a little. Well, Saudi Arabia is kind of happy we're going after Iran. Saudi Arabia and Iran are not exactly friends, but on a whole part, our support of various entities in the Middle East is not the best on the street in the Middle East. So, what more can I say? I'll pass that.
Damn. Wow. So, Phil, that's a great point there, right? And to follow up on the Middle Eastern part, right? If Iran falls, right, I think that's going to be a travesty, because there's something called like the axis of influence or axis. I don't know what it's called, right? But it's Iran, China, and Russia. They're very clicked up together, right? So if Iran falls, China will get shook without a doubt. Okay, Russia would definitely get shook. Okay, so Iran, right? They are a major power, but if they fall, you got China and Russia who are limbo there. Russia is fighting a Ukraine war, right? China wants Taiwan, and I doubt they'll be emboldened to get Taiwan after seeing Iran fall. So there's an argument there that someone's going to lose it, okay? And and again, that could trigger a world war. Then we have Pakistan, right? Who will probably get involved in some shape or form. Then India will probably get involved because India doesn't like Pakistan, right? So these kind of chain of events, right, can cause a major economic crisis, Phil, right? Which also isn't good for us passport bros in terms of our investments in maybe investing in oil, in gold, in crypto and stocks. All that is going to tank. Okay, so it's going to be a problem, right, for a lot of us on an economic scale. Big time.
I wouldn't say, okay, so they due to money or how these people's positions are, like I wouldn't worry so much about their actions. This is going to be the same as it was before, which is they get angry with each other and throw things at each other, and then they stop and they cool down again, and then they get more weapons and then they do it again. fundamentally, right now, Iranian troops are dying in the Ukraine battle on the Ukraine front line. So there is some attrition going on there. The amount of drones that Iran has is decreasing because they're being used on the front line as well and being shot down by Ukrainians. So it is limited what Iran has. Nobody in their right mind would try to invade Iran without a full-fledged navy being used. Because that's the only way you can realistically do it. You can't go across you can't do a land. It's impossible. Well, it's nearly impossible to do. The geography is just treacherous. You cannot do that. And so the only military in the world that can actually do a proper invasion of Iran would be the United States. We're not going to do that. We're not stupid. We know what would happen. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a stalemate. It's just going to be them going back and forth with each other as normal. I'd be more concerned with Pakistan and India going at each other, because those two have real access to each other in terms of ground war, and they really don't like each other. Like, they really don't like each other. They need to chill out, but they're a little too close. The United States and Israel and Iran are really far away from each other. So we can talk. It's actually better to do it that way. What I was, how can I say, interested in or was looking at were the hypersonic missiles that Iran was using. Did you see those in the videos on YouTube?
Yeah. Speak on that, Theo. Speak on that.
Yeah, they had hypersonics, and it wasn't hitting all the targets like they were supposed to, but they were definitely evading the Iron Dome. Not all of them. Some of them were intercepted, but you could see some of them definitely hitting the ground. That's an issue. And so you have to have a more advanced Iron Dome. You have to have some sort of additional protection for that. But if they decide to have, like, say, 8,000 hypersonics, and they're able to distribute them across Persia, okay, then if they launch them all at the same time with drones, well, we've got an issue. So so Iran does have the ability to somewhat level the playing field.
Wow. So Theo, like, have you thought about this if things really go out of control, right? Flights will be cancelled. There'll be a real restriction of traveling, which again hampers us as passport bros. In fact, a lot of brothers are just sick of the West at the moment, and if they can't travel, right, or if they're stuck in a country, man, they might just lose it, right? They might just lose it. Go on, bro.
We can still go to Brazil. I can still go to Brazil. I can walk there. I can still go to Colombia. I mean, Japan's still open. It's fine. It's just that you have this one section. So, I mean, let's say, like, you want to go to Qatar, you should just go on Emirates Airlines because they can fly over Russia. And Russia's not going to shoot them down, right? So, British Airways, probably not, but Emirates, yeah. So you just have to take a different airline. That's all. You can still do it. But for the most part, okay, guys, if you want a Persian girl, you should go to California. But why would you go to California for a Persian girl? Because there's spoiled little princesses over there. I know, because I was in California and I saw them. They're spoiled little brats. So why would you want to date one of them? Do you have, like, real serious super money? It makes Keisha's delusions look like Section 8. Like, the Persian princesses, they're like, okay, do you have $1 million for real? They're not playing around. No, I'm serious. They really are expensive. So, I mean, Americans can't go to Iran anyway. So, if we do go there, the Iranian government's most likely to say we're a spy and we're put us in jail. So there goes our passport, bro. Right thing right there. For the most part, we shouldn't be going to Russia anyway at this point. It's not smart to do. Although I don't know. Do you have students who say they want to go to Russia? I've got a few who say they want
Yes.
to go, and I look at
Yeah.
them like they're crazy. I'm like, you do know there's a war going on, right? Probably shouldn't go to Russia during a war. Well, I want to go there. Like, okay, what do you think you're like a ghost or something because you're black? They're not going to think that. They're going to say that's an American right there. He's a CIA agent. That's how they're going to think of you, bro. I could just go there and nobody knows I'm here. Yeah, they know you're right there. See, there's that Yankee right there eating the hot dog. See, there it is, right there. Right. So, I got people who are kind of delusional in that way. So they definitely shouldn't be doing Russia. So for the most part, where we want to go, Morocco, right? Maybe Tunisia. We'd still be okay in Tunisia. We need some French. Well, you need Morocco for French. You need Morocco. You need French from Morocco anyway. Where else would we be going there? Syria likes us a lot more right now because Trump just lifted the sanctions. Okay, and then we have a government change there. All right, but I mean, for the most part, we need to have stable, high-speed internet, and the best place for that in the internet in the Middle East is going to be Qatar, Abu Dhabi, and Istanbul, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so if you're going to want to go date those women in the Middle East, that's where you go, in those cities. Maybe Indonesia would be like, Muslim Asian Muslim women. Okay, they go over there, but none of us are going to go to Iran. We're not going to Iraq. We know what can happen. We're not crazy. Well, some of us are crazy, but not out of our minds. So, we should go to Jordan. No, don't go to Jordan. I can see somebody doing that, but don't go to Jordan, please.
Oh man, incredible. So okay, so I want to brother, what do you mean Iranian chicks in Cali are spoiled? Have you dated some? You dealt with one?
Oh, I've been around them before, man. No, I mean, they're little spoiled little brats. There's just no way I'd even consider them. I mean, I'll say this though. Oh my goodness, they're beautiful. Wow, they're hot. So I mean, them being spoiled little brats. I mean, they can pull that off. Because I can sit there and say like, you're a spoiled little brat. She can say like, well, I'm the hottest thing you've ever seen in your life, and she's probably correct. So all right, point taken. All right. So these women, if they want to date millionaires, they can get those kind of guys in Cali to date. They're that beautiful. So, what more can I say about that?
Damn, incredible. So, now, okay, so we have to talk about, right, the potential of us being locked out of dating in Muslim majority countries, all right, and countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Morocco, Tunisia, Turkey, right? These are Muslim countries, right, that could turn their backs on brothers coming to their country and trying to pull one of those women. There could be title laws or social pressure, right, in regards to dating foreigners. There could be family resistance to having foreign boyfriends, right? Less tolerance for American men, British men, etc., etc. So that will lock us out of a huge dating market, right? So we're only left with African chicks, Asian chicks, white chicks, European chicks. What if you don't want any of that? What if you want
Latinas? They're still Latinas.
Mm.
Latina. Yeah, Latinas. Yeah. There's still a lot of Brazilians left, a lot of Colombians. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. If you want to date a woman from the Middle East, I would say, maybe consider converting to Islam and dating someone there. You probably have a better chance of doing that. But go there and see it. If you're Islamic and you say you're not aligned with Western foreign policy, you'd probably be in a better position. They'd probably accept you. But for the rest of us, I mean, you know, Brazil's still open for business. Hey, you know, if you're making a decent amount of money as a passport pro, so, you can make 60,000 quid a year and be in Brazil, and you'd be a king in Sao Paulo or Rio. You'd be super rich. So I mean, they know that. So there's opportunities still for you.
Wow. Okay. Great conversation so far. So Theo, right now, what if, right, Israel is successful? Before I even speak about that, right,
Mhm.
Iran's nuclear facilities, right, are deep underground from what I've read. So it's very deep underground, and the bombs that Israel is throwing at them isn't really working because it's so deep underground. They spent years building their underground nuclear facilities, okay, which is quite impressive, right, to say so. Now, what if Israel is successful in destroying this program, the facilities? I don't think Iran's going to take too well to that. They have spent decades building that, being patient, right? Something is going to click off, and it's going to be huge. Okay. Now, at that point in time, I feel like we're going to have a problem of 90 million people, okay, where we may see regime change, we may see a civil war within Iran, and we may see more immigrants come to the West or around the world. It's going to be ugly, okay? So, in your opinion, what happens if Israel is successful in destroying the nuclear facilities of Iran, Theo?
Well, first part, they might, their Iranian paramilitary groups, or can I say, groups or extensions of the Iranian government, they might conduct a covert war against the West. Now, they've been doing this already for decades, but this might escalate. So that wouldn't be good. That'd be really bad, actually. So that'd be the first one that would happen. Second thing is, if the Iranian population very much supports their government, and all 90 million of them say they want a war, then we've got an issue. But okay, so they can only send rockets, or they don't really have a military that they can really deploy. So, but they might, more rockets towards America, in particular American interests. That wouldn't be good. So in that case, it'd actually be beneficial if you guys were passport pros. What I would say is have a little bit, like 10% of your money in gold, have about 20% in crypto, and take the rest, if you can, as much as you can, and put it in some other countries, because the West might get some bombings for a while, and you probably want to be in another country. So I would, if they really went crazy, I'd rather be in Colombia than New York. It just makes sense. I wouldn't want to be in a major metropolitan city in the United States in that case.
Facts, Theo. Facts. Theo, let's talk about money, right? Because, I know this is crazy to say or crazy to sound, right? But someone is getting rich off this, right? Someone is getting rich off this war, right? And I read that gold reached all-time highs the other day or something like that, as soon as the war happened, which is pretty insane to hear. Now, Theo, is there, how are people making money off this kind of war, Theo? Are you making money off this war, Theo?
I don't know. I haven't looked at my investments. The place where you're going to make the most money is going to be crypto. Because anytime there's some sort of uncertainty like this, crypto market, it really bounces. So I would say crypto would be the first place you put the money into. and then you put your, well, it matters how much of a war hawk you are. You could put your, you know, in a military industrial complex stock market. You can put your money into there, and they'll definitely, you know, be supported because there'll be more government contracts. If you think that's unethical, like I do, you don't want to do that. So okay, you put into you know, other places. You can put it into bonds if you really want to. I would put it into tech, to be honest, because tech is always going to be a safe haven. So put it into AI. Yeah, that actually makes sense. The AI system, so it'd be good. But the big thing I'm telling you guys is you want to be outside the country. You just do. You want to be out because what happens is that you get too much paranoia about the war going on in the streets in the West. Whereas if you're in Brazil or Japan or Thailand, just life is normal. They're not concerned about that. They're just having their normal life.
Wow. Bill, when you say buy gold, is that buying physical gold or buying a gold ETF or gold index fund?
Either way. Anything that's convertible into dollars, an ETF or actual gold, like ounces of gold, thing like that. Yeah, you can do either one. This is fine. But I wouldn't do, like, your rate of return on Bitcoin is going to be by far more. XRP, even Dogecoin. I forgot to say it. Dogecoin. That would be better. But in terms of multiples, you're gonna make your, like, XRP in particular is going to really take off. That's where you put the big money into it, because you're going to get multiples. In terms of Bitcoin, you might get 20, 30, 40%, right? But XRP is going to go in multiples, and that's where you really want to make your money.
Wow, great stream. So shout out to Mr. Alexis McCullough for the support. Do you think a draft is on its way? That's a great question, bro. Oh, no, personally, no. I don't think we're reaching that breaking point yet. But if it is on its way, I ain't fighting no war, and I ain't no, I'm out the country, bro. It's not happening.
No, you'd be out of the country anyway. So that's okay. So remember, Russia put a draft, right? And what did people do? Well, able-bodied Russian men left the country.
That's fact.
So I think it's 6 million Russian men left the country, something like that, some huge number. So I mean, Alex, if you think there's going to be a war, you think there's going to be a draft, make sure you have your passport. Just go across the Canadian border immediately, and say you're a refugee and you're against the war and you're against Trump and you're against the administration and you don't like anything that's going on and you want to be a refugee, and the Canadians will probably accept you. Like they've had a pretty good history of accepting U.S. Military dissenters. So yeah, you'll be okay.
Awesome. Yeah, I ain't find no war. Get out of here with that. Shout out to Mr. Yu-Gi-Oh! Master for the support. And I don't want to crash out yet because I got a lot to say about this on Rumble. And I don't want to swear. I don't want to crash out yet on Rumble. I've got a lot to say. But if I get a saying IP description, I'm gonna tear that mofo up. I'm gonna burn it on fire, book my clothes, book a flight out of the country. Shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master for the support. Happy to see Theo on the channel. Of course, shout out to Theo. Welcome back. Theo in the building. What's up? Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Awesome. So, Theo, any closing statements here before we react to some content for this week?
I would say look at the what's actually going on. Keep your eyes on it, but for the most part, it should just be the status quo, which is two countries just getting irritated with each other and throwing missiles at each other. In the 80s, Israeli took F-15s and flew across and started bombing facilities. I believe it was in Iraq because they had a nuclear weapons program and they just took it out. I believe, guys, keep me honest, but I don't know if it was Iraq or Iran. But I know Israeli took it was Iraq. So they took F-15s and just dealt with it. So this isn't the first time. If you guys want to be passport bros, Colombia's there for you. Now you'll be fine, man. You'll be, internet well, go to Medellin and Bogota for internet, but you'd have some nice Colombia woman on the lookout because she'd be on top of you and looking around. You know what I mean? So, I'm just saying, you put a ring on it. Oh, one of my students is gonna get married to a Colombian.
Oh, congratulations to him. Perfect.
Yeah, I heard the rumor about it, so I'm gonna go see about this. But yeah, I'm gonna probably go to someplace in Colombia and go to a wedding pretty soon the next year. That'll be good. We're getting married. It's good. So I'm going to Sao Paulo myself. So that's my last closing statement. That's my closing statement for now. Guys, don't worry about it. Everything will be okay.
Awesome. So let us react to some interesting content for this week. Okay. So let me just put up my library. Okay. Let's see over here. What's going on there? Okay, I know why. Okay, so let's go over here. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen over here. Right, present, share screen. IP, video file. Right, and then let's go to a very interesting clip here by the one and only.
All they want that they do.
Austin Holman. Okay, so Austin Holman has put out a clip saying, in regards to colorism, white worshipping, which is an interesting topic here. Let's hear it first.
Now, luckily here in Kenya, people can say all they want that they do that here. Trust me, it's. I've been to places where they white worship.
That's the problem. Yes, white worship. That's a major problem all around the world. I'm sick of it, but unfortunately, just how the world is. But I want to hear Austin's further thoughts.
Worshiping is not something I think about here on a daily basis. But
of course, right? It makes sense for you, right? He's in Kenya. It's a majority black country. We're hoping that the women there, because Kenyan women are hot, right? Don't think they want to be white or white worship or bleach their skin.
Those places that did not segregate, getting a lighter bloodline is something that people desire for whatever reason. Women believe.
That's facts there, Theo, right? Especially in Brazil. Can we agree on that, Theo?
You want my honest opinion?
Yes, because I heard in Brazil that a lot of women, particularly like dark-skinned black women who have afros, they go for white men to lie in their race for their children. It's a thing that I'm hearing, Theo, right? To the point where, as a black man in Brazil, you have better luck with the brown-skinned, light-skinned chicks and the white Brazilian chicks, and not the black Brazilian chicks.
My opinion is that if you're thinking that way, you're bringing Western ideas of race with you on the airplane, and you need to work more, go to the gym, exercise more, and get a bit more tired, and actually talk to the natives, and then you'll see the situation. This is something that you're bringing on the airplane with you. You shouldn't even care. I never cared about like what was considered to be colorism. I never cared about that when I was abroad. It was just very easy. There's a girl. Do I like her? Yes or no? Does she like me? Can I get on a date with her? Do I know how to ask her for a date? That's all it was. It was very simple. It never went above that. If Austin is thinking this way at this point, I look at him and say, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing with your time? Don't you have something else better to do? Because that's particularly an American way of thinking, and that's with him on the airplane. He's bringing it with him as emotional baggage to another country. When I'm abroad, I don't have time for this crap.
Okay, Pierre,
they're more likely to get jobs or attention from men if they have lighter skin, especially in media, hospitality, and sales.
That's facts.
In Ghana, 97.6% of women that bleached their skin said that they did it to feel more beautiful. In Nigeria's Nollywood industry, darker skinned actresses get passed over and they're not considered. And like I said, my sources will be in the description. So does bleaching your skin really make you more beautiful, or is it just white worship?
Damn. No, he feels a good point there. Now, if we remove dating, right, from the equation, mean, think about life as general, opportunities for jobs, promotions, just having the good things in life, right? We see that lighter skinned people get that, particularly in these non-Western countries. I know it's a problem in Western countries, right? But in Brazil, it's really a problem there, right? He mentioned Nigeria or Ghana in the film industry, where if you're a light woman, you get more opportunities, feel right. I feel that can mess up the psyche of a woman who's foreign, right? And that's a thinking that if she wants a better life for her children, she must get with a white man or a light-skinned person to have like kids, or she must bleach her skin for opportunities, feel right? Do we want to deal with women like that, Theo, abroad? I mean, hell no, Theo. Ain't that a problem, bro? With some women?
No, because the women who will like you and they want you, they'll make themselves readily available to you. So deal with those women. That's it. So when I was in Sao Paulo last time, a German woman made herself readily available to me. I dated her. And then a Japanese Brazilian made herself available and I dated her. And then an Afro-Latina made herself available and I dated her. I dated 3 women there. What they thought about my race really wasn't something I cared about. It was more like, are we having a good time? Are we laughing? Are we having fun? Am I able to speak the language correctly? Am I getting my points across? Stuff like that. That's it. I didn't really care anything about that. I mean, ultimately, if she likes you, she likes you. If she doesn't, she doesn't. The reasons why she doesn't like you is out of your control. Don't even be concerned about it. Just focus on the girls who do like you. They're the ones who'll make a family with you. Go there.
Theo, yeah. That's a good point there. And shout out to Austin Holman for his point there. I agree with his points here. And also give you a point there, Theo, when you mentioned how do women who like you, because there will be women who are colorist. There will be women that who see a dark-skinned brother, they don't want nothing to do with dark skin, whatever. They want a guy light in the paper bag. You don't deal with them. You deal with women that like you. Okay?
Yeah.
So that fills out all the BS, right? If she likes you and she's good looking and she's not 3 or 4, then that's perfect. I agree with that, because guess what? Not everyone will like you, right? But I do appreciate in bringing up the fact that colorism is a problem, white worshipping is a problem, and of course I'm going to avoid women who have that colorism mindset. That don't come near me, woman. Don't do it. I'm gonna crash out on you.
My dad is like really black. My mom, I always said my mom needed SPF 100 at midnight because she was so white. I mean, I always feel like she'd get a sunburn at midnight. Okay. My mom wanted to be pounded out by a black man. That's why I exist. I mean, yeah, I have to remember that. That's what she wanted and that's what she got. So, I mean, there are certain women out there who will like you in a certain way. Go for it. Thing is, I mean, for myself, I particularly like dark tie. I have a thing for them. I always have. If I went to Thailand and women were talking to me about some kind of colorism or anything like that, I'm like, I don't care. That dark tie over there, I'm going to go for her. Does she have a college education? Is she cute? Does she want kids? Okay, let's talk, put a ring on it, and bend her over. That's how I'm going to think. That's very simple. It doesn't. I don't care about what other people think. If some Korean came around and say, "Hey, Theo, you like dark Asians more than light," and she started yapping, I'm like, I don't care. What are you saying? Go get some bulgogi, get some kimchi. Go, shut up. Got other things to do. I'm with her right now. Go away. So you gotta have that. You gotta have that mentality, guys. You're going for the woman who likes you, and there are plenty of women out there who like a dark brother. Or if that weren't true, I wouldn't be here right now.
Damn. Awesome. All right. So, okay, that's our thoughts on this clip here. Shout out to Austin Holman there. Awesome. So, next one to react to over here. Okay. So, I'm going to bring up another clip here, right? Present video file.
I will say, hold on. Let me make one point. Guys, make sure you have money. it's amazing how many doors open up if you have money. So if you're making $120,000 a year, you'd be surprised how many women do not care what your color is. I'm just saying, because you can give a lifestyle that other guys cannot. And so, you know, make sure you're green. Make sure that they think that you're green. That's number one.
But Phil, guess what, right? But does that woman really love you for you or love you for your assets, Phil? I want a woman that love me for me, Phil, first. Before, and the money should be a
so
plus.
she's going to say, you love me for me or my booty? There's always going to be something. It's a fair exchange in the relationship. So there's some things you like about her, the personality, and there's some things she's bringing. She's bringing the booty, some chesticles, right? Some smiles, some hair, some things like that. How she kisses, education. There's something. It's the way it is. Now, if she only likes you for your green, then you have a problem. Yeah, get out of there. I've had those experiences, but for the most part, it's not that hard to tell. Basically, if she is looking at you like she can't stop looking at you and she kind of has like a childish curiosity and she just keeps on talking to you and she doesn't care if you're at a cafe or like a 5-star restaurant, she just wants to be with you, that's not a gold digger. She actually wants to make a family with you. So just go out with her, it's fine. If she starts having these crazy, like Western women do, these crazy requirements, oh, you got to spend this much money on me. Those are the women who want the cash. The Western women, those are the ones. You don't really see that abroad. Yeah, man. Yeah, you're fine.
Awesome. Awesome. Sophia, I want to know your thoughts as to, hold on. So let me bring up a video over here, okay? Now, this video, hold on. Right, this video here, right, is shocking. This video here is shocking because, so shocking. Sorry. let me clarify my thoughts properly. Right, this clip here is outrageous because we're seeing here what a top 20% guy is, and once again, if you ain't getting any type of vibes from a woman, okay, why date in this country? Why date in America? Why date in the UK? Get your passport, because these women, they let you know, right, how they will move to a guy they really like. Sophia, we got a woman here, right, and a 6'8" dude. I feel, watch the interaction, brother. Watch it, okay? Insane. So you can see, brother, that chick in the green jump sweatsuit, whatever it's called, is looking at the guy, right? Eye on eye, all right? You see it, you see that, right? Hold on. So, Theo, you see that? He had his phone out, Theo, without even speaking to her, and she puts her number in. What the hell was going on? This guy just puts his phone out. She walks up to him and puts her number in his phone without any introductions. Oh, it's over. Let's kind of watch him. They're still not speaking, bro. What? She's just typing her number in his phone, Theo, and they're still not speaking. They're still not speaking, bro. They're still not speaking.
What's your name?
They finally speak.
I'm Callie.
Cool. So she puts the number first, Theo, and then she speaks after. Normally, you speak to a girl first, and then you get her number if you can. This guy just puts his phone out, comes up to him. She comes up to him and puts her digits in without ever speaking to him.
Nice to meet you. I'll be right back.
Theo, it's over. Phil, what is your thoughts here on this clip? This is insane. God.
I think you guys should learn from him and emulate him, particularly when you're abroad. That's how you should be acting. That's the way. And then you should also know how to talk. But I mean, I'm 6 feet tall. I'm 183 centimeters. When I'm abroad, I can pull off that kind of crap. It's not hard. So you just have to know what you're doing and having that presence. Yeah, not hard.
Phil, you're telling me that you, right, can just put your brothers. You're telling me that you can. up a chick, brother, abroad, a foreign chick, right? When you're abroad, right? And then she's looking at you, you look at her, and brother, you just pull your phone out, Theo. She comes up to you, puts her number in without speaking to you for 10 seconds, Theo. What? God.
No, that's not hard to do. We're just talking about confidence. So you just need to go abroad more. That's all. No, so this guy, he has got it in the West. It looks like this is in the West. So he's probably about 6'5".
He's 6'8".
Right?
6'8".
There's 6'8" guy in the West? Yeah. Yeah, you can do that. In the West? Sure. See, you know how he's not thinking about colorism or any crap like that? He knew what he was doing. Full confidence. He didn't have to think about money or anything. He knew what was up. So when you're abroad, if you're in a country where most of the women are 5'2", you can pull off that. If she's looking at you, you can pull that kind of crap off.
You're right.
Yeah.
So basically, but you have to know your market, but that's why the possible movements on feed, right? Because there are some markets around the world where in Latin America, specifically Guatemala, Costa Rica, right? I'm assuming where women there are literally 5 foot, right? 5'1", and if you're a 5'9", 5'10", 5'9", 6 foot guy, you can be this dude abroad. You're right, Theo. It's knowing where to go to maximize your characteristics. Oh man, damn.
Yeah. So I don't know why you would. I would be looking at that guy and copying him and saying, okay, this is how you would do it. I have some techniques in Japanese. Like I'm really good in Japanese, so I know some ways of moving in Japanese where I don't need language. I just do body language and eye movement. That's it. Japanese women are simple and easy to get. They're not hard at all. But that's because I know how to move with them. So you guys, I mean, if you fundamentally you need to copy this guy's confidence. That's it.
Theo, before we go on to the next part, can you speak about how would you move to a Japanese chick? How would you just do it that, but just put a chick like that? Speak out for me.
No. That's something I only show if I'm in Tokyo. Yeah, actually, I have to show you how to do it because most of you guys would be trying to do something and not understand the context and then acting like an idiot. So no, I'm not going to talk like that. But you need to know what you're doing in Japan. You need to know their body language. I know their body language really well, so like, yeah, okay, I know what I'm doing.
Yo, I can really be like that. This 6'8" guy abroad. Okay, I get you, man. Some notes here. Just go to a good market where you're going to be valued. And obviously, in the West, we know that tall guys are valuable. Especially if you're over 6'2", you are literally a god to a lot of women, right? So you can move.
Well, if you're in a lot of countries, if you're 5'10" and a Westerner, you are the barbarian. You're totally tall. This is like I'm 6 feet tall. When I was in Brazil, I tower over most Asians and Brazilians. So that's why I said when I was there, I never considered any man there to be competition to me. I was like, oh yeah, I can take your girl if I want. If I really work at it, I can do it. It's not hard. And that's because I'm tall and I have a lot of money. If you're in certain countries and you're acting a certain way, you have confidence, yeah, it's not hard to do. It just takes some degree of experience. I've been married before. I know what I'm doing, so I know how to look at a woman and say, oh, you ain't crap, you ain't ish. Just kind of go with it, right? And talk with her directly. And it's, to me, she doesn't have any like femininity, luster. That's all gone. She's just a human being to me. I could talk to her directly.
Awesome. Wow. All right, great breakdown there. Great breakdown. All right, so next one to speak about, right? Let's see. So, but let's talk about this clip over here, okay? So this is a clip, right? This is a clip where I think it happened in Colombia, all right? And a brother's chain got jacked, right? And I got some thoughts here to speak about this in terms of the woman you have to deal with abroad, how to spot signs, how to look at her and say, okay, this is not a good chick, right? But Theo, can you watch the clip, please? You're going to see what happens here. So you can see there's a brother and a Latina, right? Okay. You can see her hands are over his neck.
Miren la habilidad de esta mujer que mientras coquetea
Watch that, okay? You can see she's getting closer. You can see her hands are behind his chain. Watch the chain there of his neck.
a un extranjero para distraerlo, le quita la cadena de oro del cuello.
Look at that. You see? She's got her hands on the chain. Boom. Just like that. Just like
Miremos
that.
nuevamente. Lo distrae y ahí le
Just
quita
like
la
that.
cadena. Ella es
See how smooth that was?
Jessica Juliet
He doesn't even notice, bro.
Montes
He doesn't even
Castiblanco,
notice.
de 32 años, quien ya está identificada por las autoridades como una residente del barrio Carapote,
Doesn't even notice.
quien claramente se dedica
I think this is happening in
a
Colombia.
robar turistas en el centro histórico de Cartagena. Si usted o
Look how smooth that
alguien que
was.
usted conoce ha sido víctima de esta mujer,
Look at that.
denúnciela.
Bam. Wow. Theo, what's your thoughts here on this clip here? As to how brothers move abroad, the type of woman they deal with abroad, how they're not spotting signs abroad about the chicks they deal with. Break it down for me, Theo.
You want my real opinion on this one?
Yes, please. But obviously, keep it PG, please.
This guy's an idiot. He deserved it. Straight out, he deserved it. He's an idiot. Yes. First thing, you go abroad, you never wear a gold chain outside. Never. You don't wear any gold, any jewelry. He got a gold watch on his hand right there and a gold chain. That's a target. He just invited himself. Basically, what he did is put a bunch of meat juice all over his arms, and he goes outside and wondering why mosquitoes are going at him. Duh. So that's the first thing. Idiot. Why are you doing it? Second thing, now we talked about how black men need to raise their standards with women. Why is he with this low-life, trashy woman? Why? Because she got her boobies out. That's why. I never, and when I go abroad, I never talk with this kind of woman. If I see a woman like this, I think I'm in the wrong neighborhood. I need to get someplace out. I'm in the wrong class. This is a low-level woman. As somebody said in the chat, she probably has 3 STDs. I'd agree. I wouldn't even be dealing with this kind of woman. So he's happy to get a woman's attention, probably starved for it, never really had it before. And then he's getting jacked. Yeah, no kidding. Exactly. Next part. Why is his phone out? Stupid. You never have a phone out like that abroad. Never. That's idiotic. You're asking to get robbed. Never. So when I go out, make sure you guys are listening. I want you guys in the chat to be listening to what I'm saying. When I go out, I make sure I know how I'm going to get home. And I have a little bit of money. It's not that expensive to do. Sometimes I'll either pre-order a taxi to be in a certain place for me to pick me up, or I'll make arrangements for somebody to take me back. But for the most part, I can walk back to my hotel or my Airbnb. So that means I don't need my phone. So I don't have my phone. I don't have my watch. I don't have any jewelry on me. Many times, you guys, I'm not even wearing my glasses. That's it. I don't have my earphones. Why? Those are all robbable targets. And I don't have my debit card on me. I don't keep my credit card on me. I just keep some cash. That's it. That's all I need. Anything above that, guys, you're a target. You're stupid. You're asking to get hit.
Damn, yo, Phil's crashing out there.
Yeah.
Crashing out there.
So that's why this happened to this guy. I'm looking at him like, yo, fool. Yeah, you're going to get robbed. I'm going to stay away from you. You're smiling like that because you got this woman on her boobies out there like that? Yeah, you're going to get robbed. She's probably working with a team. Your phone's going to go. Your watch is going to go. They're going to take your money. Who knows what they might take because you're a mark. You're being a fool. Don't act that way.
Damn, yo, Phil was catching out there for a bit. Phil, you're right. I feel like for me the main point here is that the woman you deal with abroad, man, I'm telling you, is you gotta be careful, man. And you know what? You can spot off rip that this ain't a high value woman. She got tattoos on her, bro. She's wearing booty shorts. Okay. Although that's a common thing in Colombia, but it's the tattoos there, right, that are just like off. Okay. She don't look like a high value woman. Therefore, you don't do it with her. But we know when brothers go to Colombia, brother, they lose it. They see like sinners left, right, and center. They're seeing all these women paying attention. And that's why I feel we say you got to practice the discipline. You got to have actual discipline. You need to have the power to turn down women, right, that you know are low value. And guess what, Theo, in Panama 2 years ago, Theo, I had women left, right, center coming towards me. And guess what? Yes, some of them were 304s. Some of them were streetwalkers, right? Big booty streetwalkers, man, from Cuba, right, from Venezuela, coming towards me, trying to sell their box to me. IP said, no, the devil won't win today. The devil ain't gonna win. IP, send them away. Right? I got my holy water out. I sprayed on them chicks, and them chicks scattered like ants. Okay? So that's the power of actual discipline. But some of you bros, man, have no flipping control, man. Some of you bros gonna lose it abroad, man. Right? Because guess what? Because you ain't getting no play in the West, right? So when you go abroad, the little bit of attention you get from the chick, right? You lose it. You go for anything and everything. Don't fall in love with the first woman you meet abroad, cuz. Have discipline. Please.
Yep. Please have discipline. There is no reason to be acting that way. None at all. I mean, he's just being stupid. That is just irresponsible. I will never do it. Somebody in the chat saying black men will smash anything. No, that's not true. A lot of us have real discipline abroad. So, Bubble Guppy, nah, man, you obviously don't know black men. Because I'm a black man, I will not smash everything. I'm classist, as my students know. I'm totally bougie. I'm definitely classist. If you're not like upper middle class, you're not upper middle class and above. I will not consider you for a date.
Ooh.
Just the way it is. Yeah.
Ooh,
I need upper middle class and above in that culture.
Ooh, Phil. Okay, Phil. Can we unpack that piece? Because you may meet women that are in lower class, right? However,
no,
they ain't got tattoos on them. Okay.
No. If I meet a woman who's in lower class, that means I'm in the wrong neighborhood and I need to get out of there. I'm someplace where I should not be. So I get out. That's it. Done. If I want lower class woman, I can go to Section 8 in the United States. I don't do with that. So again, if I'm say I'm on the beach, like say I'm in Brazil, like I'm in Rio, and there's a bunch of lower level like poor girls out there, I'll be like, I'm not at the right beach. I should go to Ipanema. I think it's Ipanema. I should go to a richer place where you actually have to have some money to be around. Okay, I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna go to a place where the girls can't afford to be there, and I'm gonna chill out. That's the way it is.
Wow, Phil says he's bougie abroad, he classes abroad, and I think you got a point. I forget a lot of us black men needs to become more classes, more bougie, and more like if you're not my level woman, I don't want to be. Don't come near me. I think I'm starting to I'm starting to like get close to that idea, Phil, right? Because I'm a dude, right? That I'm a humble, cool dude, but when it comes to chicks, I feel like we gotta be bougie, we gotta be classes, man. We gotta be upper team these chicks, man, because it's literally it's good or evil we're dealing with right now, man. I agree, Phil. Damn, speaking facts, bro.
Yeah, it's you go to a place where you're not gonna have to have your phone, or you're not gonna get robbed if you have your phone either. So, I remember I was in Sao Paulo. I was going to different Japanese restaurants. I wasn't worrying about dealing with no brokies or some poor people, because Japanese are all middle upper class for the most part. So I was dealing with the right population. So I would say to you guys, if you are going into like let's say you go to Colombia or Peru, something like that, and you're just looking for big booby, big booty, that's it. Be prepared to get robbed. Yeah, because you are a target. But if you're going, I always said, I'm shout out to Andre for a lot of this. You need to be going for an upper middle class nerdy girl who's educated, because that girl will be happy that she has you, and you're definitely going to be able to communicate with her and have a good time, get some good family and get some good children out of here. There'll be a lot of good education. But a lower class girl like this, no, man, what are you talking about? You don't do that. No. Be smarter, guys. It's another reason why we don't date Keisha in the West. She's not classy.
Facts. Absolute facts. Great breakdown there. Awesome. Okay, so I want to bring up an article here, right? In regards to when you go too far, even like the liberals are like, okay, now you're going too far, and we're going to clamp down on your BS, right? Okay, so I want to bring up an article over here. Okay, okay, hold on. Let me share my screen. Present, share screen. Okay, look at this, right? Okay, so it says here, OF confirmed Bonnie Blue, right, who is this British chick who's an absolute disgusting 304, has a permanent ban with new statement. Okay, it says here, okay, Bonnie Blue has been permanently banned from the adult subscription platform OF over an extreme challenge she was about to undergo. News dropped this week that the stunt performer Bonnie previously slept with over 1,000 dudes in just 12 hours. Will no longer be allowed to upload content on OF due to a world record breaking plan she'd put in place. Okay. Whoa. It says here, a spokesperson for the adult orientated service shared in a statement, extreme challenge content is not available on OF and is not permitted under our acceptable use policy and terms of service. Any breach of our terms of service results in content or account deactivation. Wow. Look at this, right? So they went on to reiterate that her removal as a creator is permanent. She'll now lose out on what on earth? On £600,000 per month. She was making over $500,000 a month on OF. Unbelievable. What is going on? A source told The Sun her latest stunts have taken things too far. She's crossed the line and OF had no choice but to act. Crazy. So what was her stunt feel? Okay, it says here, as for what she had in mind for her next stunts, Bonnie was going to have sex with 2,000 men in 24 hours in an event she called the Petting Zoo. This is what she says for you, right? For 24 hours, she's all yours, she told her subscribers on the now deleted page. Tied up, gagged, bent over, begging. However you want her, you can have her. No limits, no breaks, just her in a box and ready to be used. It's dirty, intense, and completely open. You can watch, join in, or do both. What on earth? There will be live shows, group scenes, and plenty of chances to get involved, whether you wanted to control or just enjoy the view. What the hell? Theo, so we're in 2025, right? And we are living in bizarro world right now, Twilight Zone world, right? You would think that they would even allow this kind of event to happen, but even liberals are like, yo, 2,000 guys in 24 hours called a petting zoo is going too far. What's your thoughts here, bro?
This is This is sick. Honestly, I think this is sick. I think she's sick. I think she's utterly disgusting. I heard some things about her like this. I didn't know it was like that. I just heard some things like on Facebook regarding her. So this is news to me. This is so bad. I think even the Devils is shocked. It's like I don't know what to do. I never thought about debauchery at this level. So this is absolutely sick. That's it. And she's apparently she comes from an upper class family in the UK, right? Something like that.
I think so.
She's not. She's doing this for money. I think it's disgusting. So I know some people say, well, what about the guys participating? No, it's all about her. It's all about her, and that's why OnlyFans was right to knock her out, because then the behavior stops. I think, okay, somebody saying she's trying to hurt her father's feelings. Look, this is too far. Like, this is way too far. This woman needs a therapist. Like, not even one therapist. She needs a team of therapists to really talk with her and say, like, yo, honey, what's wrong with you? Like, who hurt you? This isn't even who hurt you. Okay, why are you crazy? Let's talk about you're crazy. Okay, let's go back like 25 years before you were born and like think about what was happening in your life before you're born to get you to this point, because this isn't how you're supposed to be acting. Disgusting. Is that?
Well, I don't even know what to say, man. Like, this is some, like, it comes to a point where you went too far that even OF, who allows all sorts of nonsense in the platform, have even banned you. That means like you're basically like on demon mode. And do you know what's even more shocking for you, right? It's the fact that she was making £600,000 a month on that platform. Any dude, right, that has contributed to that 600k a month, F you. I don't want to crash out yet on Rumble, because I will crash out soon, right? You are a disgrace. You are an absolute utter disgrace. How is she even oh man, I don't even say, man. 600k a month? Are some of you dudes that desperate? Are some of you dudes that lost? Where's the leadership? Where's the fucking sorry? Oh man, sorry. You see, you made me crash out first. IP, don't swear, bro. IP, don't crash out yet, bro. Don't do IP. Where's the flipping pride and respect? What's going on? And the fact that 2,000 dudes, right, were actually willing participants or wanted to, because she actually managed to get 1,000 dudes to actually smash her at once. There's no doubt she'll got 2,000 dudes. Any guy that was involved in that, you are a disgrace, man. It ain't just her we gotta go after, feel right? It's the dudes that actually are involved too. No, bruv.
No, you have to look at her. It's her action. She's bringing it. There is no way a man by himself can make this kind of event. It's impossible. We can't do it. A woman can, though, but not a man. So this is why you have to look at her and say, you are the culprit on this one. It has nothing to do with men. Nah. She's the one being disgusting here. And if she wanted to go alternative, she could get, like, say, 500 women and 500 men to do it as well. So she is the one in the center of it. Knock out her, and all the degeneracy goes away. So I don't look at the other people as being degenerates. She's enabling their degeneracy. And so OnlyFans is correct to say, look, we're not going to tolerate this anymore. And she's taking a financial hit. Good. Because she's the one making the money from this. Yeah, so I don't have any mercy with her on this time, to be honest. I really don't. I really look at this. She's just a horrible one on this one.
Okay. All right. So next one. This is just shocking and disgraceful. the whole act and idea speechless, absolutely speechless. So next one to react to feel, right, is your favorite country. Okay. And we'll bring it
Pandora?
up over here. What? Pandora?
Andorra? Liechtenstein?
Andorra. Let's just you've been to those two countries, bro. You've been there.
Yeah, of course I've been there.
Oh, okay.
If you blink your eye, you're on the other side. So, yeah, it's nothing.
That close?
It's like my HOA. Yeah, it's nothing. It's a small little. It's nothing. I don't like. Why are you guys your own country? Someone should have taken you over by now. So, yeah, they're a cute little country. What can I say?
Okay, so let me share my screen. Right. Share screen. Okay, so it says here, right? Okay, Japan's annual births fall to record low as population emergency deepens. What's happening here? Ain't no saving Japan? What's happening? It says here, right? The number of newborns in Japan is decreasing faster than projected, with the number of annual births falling to another record low last year, according to government data released Wednesday. The health ministry said just over 600,000 babies were born in Japan in 2024, a drop of 5.7% on the previous year, and the first time the number of newborns fell below 700,000 since records began in 1899. It is the 16th year of decline. What? It's about 1/4 of the peak of 2.7 million births in 1949 during the post-war baby boom. The data in a country of rapidly aging and shrinking population adds to concern about the sustainability of the economy and national security at a time it seeks to increase defense spending. Whoa. Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba has described the situation as a silent emergency, as promised to promote more flexible working environments and other measures that would help married couples to balance work and parenting, especially in rural areas where family values tend to be more conservative and harder on women. Oh boy! Ooh. Japan is one of a number of East Asian countries grappling with falling birth rates and an aging population. South Korea and China have fought it for years to encourage families to have more children. Also on Wednesday, Vietnam scrapped decades laws limiting families to 2 children in an effort to stem falling birth rates. I had no idea Vietnam had a 2 children rule. Interesting. Wow. So it says here, right? The health ministry's latest data show that Japan's fertility rates, the average number of babies born a woman is expected to have in a lifetime, also fell to a new low of 1.15 in 2024 from 1.2 per woman. What? However, the number of marriages was slightly up, to just over 480,000 couples, but the downtrend since the 1970s remains unchanged. Whoa. Experts say the government's measures have not addressed a growing number of young people reluctant to marry, largely focusing on already married couples. Okay, the younger generation are increasingly reluctant to marry or have children due to bleak job prospects, a high cost of living, and a gender bias. They keep saying that corporate culture that adds extra burdens for women and working mothers, experts say. A growing number of women also cite pressure to take their husband's surname. Oh, Theo, feminism is that feminism right there, Theo? Look at that. A growing number of women also cite pressure to take their husband's surname as a reason for their reluctance to marry. Oh, feminism, okay. Under Japanese law, couples must choose a single surname to marry. Japan's population of about 124 million people is projected to fall to 87 million by 2070, with over 40% of the population at 65-year-olds. Fia, what's your thoughts here, bro?
The entire article is feminism. All of it. It's all crap. It doesn't. everything they're saying there doesn't address the problem. What they need to say is, why is it that over 20%, no, actually right now, so why is it that over 25% of Japanese men in their 40s are virgins? So the women can't have families if the men aren't putting out. We'll just start there. If the men aren't putting out, we're not going to have a family. So it doesn't matter if you change the laws or you put the working conditions better for women. If the men aren't... Okay, so if you have 25% who are still virgins, that means you have a higher number of guys who maybe, of course, aren't virgins, but they're not dating. They're insular. They're excluded. So these are herbivore men. What we call herbivore men in Japan. So these guys are not participating. They're out of the dating market. So they might get some every once in a while, but for largely speaking, they're outside of the dating market. So if these guys have this behavior, it doesn't matter if you give every woman $1 million a month and no work. She's not going to get laid. That's it. That's it. That's fundamentally the way it is. You're not going to get away with that. So I mean, think about me here in Austin. Of course, I'm in Austin right now. We have the certain laws right now. We have feminism and certain laws. You can give me $1 million a month and say I have no work. I would not go out and try to get some in America, because I know what this environment is and how dangerous it is for me to be dating here, and I would not want to date the women locally. Now, you can have my normal salary, put me in Brazil, I'm a breeding man. That's it. I'm going to start breeding because the laws are good, the women are fantastic, the food is great, I want to be a part of the culture, I want to have children there, and I don't have a problem with it. So if they're not addressing Japanese men's concerns, they're not going to have the population, especially when you have less than 2% of Japanese mothers being single mothers. So the mothers are not going to have children unless they're married. And if you have 25% of Japanese men in their 40s who are virgins, that means it's pretty bleak likelihood for the women to get married. Straight up, this is not going to happen. Well, that's what the people need to be talking to the Japanese men, not the Japanese women.
Damn. But you're saying that this kind of stats that they push out about birth rates, so that's what Japan's new the population, there's not enough focus on the well-being of Japanese men. What's happening with them to the point where they are just not functioning within Japan's society very well. That's a great point, Phil. It can't just be all women, because Phil, right, when I see a point where it says here, a growing number of women also cite pressure to take their husband's name as a reason for a reluctance to marry. That's a dumb statement. It's
a dumb statement. Yeah, because, okay, so how is she getting a date? So if you have 25% of the guys who are virgins, where does she have the opportunity to take a husband's surname? Logistically, it's not possible. What kind of crap is that? So that is supporting this pretext that the men are all simping there and trying to get the attention of the women. The women are having their choice of men. That's not what's going on in Japan. Women, Japanese women, largely speaking, again, when I was there, it was bad, but it's not as bad as it is now. Largely speaking, the opportunities for her to have a date, period, are pretty darn low. So she's, keeping her eyes out, but there's just not a lot of dating opportunities for her. That's just the way life is.
You know what, Phil? A woman must take her husband's surname. It has to be. I don't know what this trend about double barrel surnames. Get out of there with that. It must be the man's surname, Phil. You would agree with that, Phil, right? She must take it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that a lot. I think that she should take the surname. But I mean, I can see women talking like blah 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 about this, And I would look at the women and say, if the men don't go outside and date, you don't have the opportunity to have a ring on your finger. You need to think about that first. That's the fundamental, because men control access to relationships. And if they're not engaging in the market, that means women's opportunities for a relationship decline drastically. And that's what's actually going on in the market right now in Japan.
Phil, you know, in my stream the other day, right, I mentioned how, because I feel like they are trying to push out feminist ideals and agenda in Japan. You've seen this article here. I know it wasn't crazy, right? Like, if they're successful, I think Japan got 10, 15 years until it's over. Maybe 20, because I know it's so, they change, they move quite slow there, but they are pushing feminist ideas there, Phil, and we have to admit that, Phil. So how would we as passport bros navigate that, and address the feminism push in Japan?
Well, I mean, feminism cannot, if feminism goes against her before man, there's nothing feminism can do. Feminism depends on male participation. So if men are out of the market, feminism is null and void. The way it is. So you wait, for example, say you have to have equal wages, and then, okay, fine, equal wages, equal voting. Okay, fine, you have equal voting. And then again, like when I was there, I saw this. My personal view is that Japan's more advanced than the West. You're seeing an advanced case of what's actually going to happen in the West pretty soon, or what it's unfolding in the West. So you give her education, you give her equal pay, for example. Let's say you change the laws with the last name. Okay. Let's say she goes 5 years without a date. Who cares? It doesn't matter. Then you have a lot of guys who aren't getting corporate jobs. They're just getting local jobs, like what is it? Like gig economy. So they're making between $2,000 and $2,500 a month. That's it. That's all they can pay for their entire life there, and they're not going out and even talking to women. Well, feminism is null and void because there's no participation with the men. So if feminism depends on men being engaged, if the men are disengaged, there's nothing. Women are on their own.
Facts, bro. Facts. Awesome. Thank you, Phil. Great breakdown. Sophie, we have 22 minutes. Okay. So, brothers, we're now taking over to Rumble Crash Out. Okay, for the last 20 minutes. Okay. So I'm gonna give you brothers 2 minutes to get on to Rumble. I'm gonna post a Rumble link in the chat. Okay. We will end the stream on Kick, YouTube, Twitch, etc. I want everyone to go on to Rumble right now. Okay. Me and Phil, we're going to crash out on Rumble. Okay. I speak about some things that obviously we can't speak on YouTube. Okay. So Rumble crash out up next. Okay. Rumble crash out up next. All right. Should be a great one. Rumble crash out up next. Okay. So I want everyone to hop onto Rumble right now. Okay. Okay. Rumble crash out up next. The Rumble link is in the live stream chat. Okay. I'm going to post it there. I want everyone to go into Rumble right now. Okay. We're going to crash out there for the last 20 minutes, 22 minutes. Let's see Phil there on Rumble. Let's go. Let's go. All right, brothers. I'm going to give you brothers another. As soon as the clock reaches 40 minutes on the dot, you have 1 more minute. We're going to end the stream on YouTube. We're going to end it on Kick. We're going to end it on Twitch. We're going to end it on flipping, what's it called? We're going to end it on the other platforms, Facebook too. We're only going to be on Rumble, okay? We're going to crash out on there, all right? So this time, Rumble crash out, next week, Kick. And we're going to do Twitch next week as well. I've got 3 countries, if it goes well, okay, happening this week, okay? So don't you miss that, brothers, all right? It's going to be a busy week. I've got content for you. I'm going to be clipping for y'all, brothers, man. And P, it's going to be a busy summer, okay? Theo will be teaching his course again. I'll be teaching my course as well. So we want y'all to be in these courses and have a great career in IT. Everyone hop onto Rumble though. Okay, we're gonna crash out there in literally 30 more seconds. Rumble gang. If you're on the Rumble, Silent Thriller. I love that's a great name, bro. Silent Thriller on the Rumble. I'm about to crash out like a mofo, man. Brothers, 20 more seconds. I want everyone on Rumble. If you're on YouTube right now, we got over 50 people on YouTube right now. I want you all on Rumble now, mofos. All right? I want you all on Rumble, man. All right? Rumble gang in the building. 10 more seconds. All right? Man, I'm going to crash like a mofo, man. Awesome. Okay? All right, brothers. I'm going to end the stream on Facebook. Okay? I'm going to end the stream now on Twitch. Okay? I'm going to, Twitch. I'm going to end the stream now on Kick. So if you're on Kick, move over to Rumble. Shout out to my Kick gang in the building, Kick gang. I'm going to end the stream now on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, the 50 people on YouTube, head over to Rumble right now. I'm going to see you there, okay?